In an ancient mountain where a wise hermit dwelled near the end of his earthly journey, he summoned his most loyal disciple, and in whispers conveyed these words: "Remember, young disciple, never allow a cat into your mind." With these final words, the sage exhaled his last breath and departed from this world. A curious crowd and devotees of the sage gathered to hear his last words, all intrigued by the meaning behind this mysterious warning. The chosen disciple was puzzled, questioning why he should be concerned about a cat entering his mind. Despite his doubts, the sage departed with due honors. However, the disciple could not free his mind from the sage's words. Within the monastery lived an old monk who, over many years, had been a silent witness to the hermit's life. Though not chosen as his successor due to his advanced age, he deeply understood the sage's lessons. Seeing the lost disciple, the old monk approached and inquired about the reason for his concern. Sincerely, the disciple shared his worries. The old monk smiled wisely and addressed the young disciple, saying, "You do not know the whole story. Allow me to share it with you." The story began when the wise hermit withdrew from society and settled in the mountains. His dwelling was a modest hut on the outskirts of a town, and he relied on the villagers' charity for sustenance. The villagers admired him for his wisdom, and as a sign of respect, built a modest cabin for him. The wise man owned only 2 garments to wear, but he soon faced a problem when rats began to gnaw on his clothes. In a challenging situation, the hermit found himself with only 2 garments and feared they would wear out over time. Unable to find a solution, he sought advice among the villagers. One of them suggested, "Why not get a cat? Cats scare away rats." The wise man considered this idea and eventually accepted the gift of a cat. Indeed, the cat kept the rats away from his cabin. However, a new challenge soon presented itself. Now he needed to care for the cat, provide food and attention. Once again, he turned to the villagers for guidance. They proposed, "This is a small town. Why not acquire a cow? We will give you a cow that will provide milk and make you more self-sufficient." Convinced by this suggestion, the sage accepted the offer and acquired a cow. However, the cow needed pasture and daily care, leading the wise man to beg in the city for the animal's food. Observing his situation, the townspeople expressed concern. They suggested, "This is not the proper way for a wise man. We recommend that you approach the widow of the town. Her husband passed away, and she is alone. Surely she will agree to care for your cow, sparing you the need to beg. Furthermore, we will clear a plot of land near your cabin, so she can cultivate pastures and other crops." The sage welcomed the suggestion, and the widow kindly accepted his offer. She cared for the cow, cultivated the field, and together they shared daily work. Over time, affection between them grew and blossomed into a deep and sincere love. A genuine relationship formed between the sage and the widow. One day, the widow became pregnant, and the sage was overcome with deep emotion. He reflected on how his life had changed. He had left the world behind, yet now he was once again involved in it. Finally, he understood the meaning behind the sage's words. "Do not allow a cat into your mind." At this point, the old monk intervened, warning that these words meant remembering not to allow the mind to be dominated by uncontrollable thoughts. In the story, the cat symbolizes the idea of not yielding excessive control to the mind, allowing it to gradually and inadvertently dominate. If we examine our lives, we will discover that, for amusement, we often allow our minds to perform actions that we know are unhealthy. Sometimes we believe that certain harmful actions will be unique and not repetitive. However, when we grant our minds a bit of freedom, it begins to crave more, and imperceptibly, we become dependent on negative habits. This resembles the monk who initially left the world to protect his clothes from rats, but ended up acquiring a cat. To care for the cat, he acquired a cow, and over time he became involved with a woman, once again becoming, in a way, the head of a family. Similarly, we know that the use of intoxicating substances is harmful. Still, some people try them just to feel their effects for the first time. However, later on they start repeating them incessantly, gradually becoming dependent. Another example is unhealthy foods, which we know are detrimental to health. Even aware of the consequences, we experience them and gradually start consuming them, succumbing to their temptations. Therefore, never allow the mind excessive freedom so that certain unwanted habits enter your life. Once you allow the entry of this cat, it will lead you to destruction, all in a subtle and unnoticed manner. Wisdom teaches us to keep the mind attentive and aware, avoiding being enslaved by harmful desires. Now, I share with you an exercise of awareness and transformation that will help you apply the transformative essence of this story to your life. Let's begin. Objective. This exercise aims to increase awareness of unwanted behavioral patterns and promote positive transformation through self-reflection and cultivating healthier habits. Identifying the cats in your life. Start by reflecting on habits or behaviors in your life that you consider harmful or unwanted. This may include addictions, unhealthy eating patterns, procrastination, excessive use of technology, or any action you'd like to change. Understanding the root. Try to identify the reasons behind these behaviors. Ask yourself why you engage in them, what triggers them, and how you feel before, during, and after acting in this manner. Examine consequences. Analyze the negative consequences of these behaviors in your life. How do they affect your health, relationships, emotional well-being, productivity, or any other significant area for you? Defining a purpose. Now, define a clear and positive purpose for change. What do you wish to achieve by abandoning these negative patterns? How will your life improve when you free yourself from these harmful actions? Cultivating healthy habits. Identify alternative habits or behaviors that can replace the old, unwanted patterns. This could be practicing meditation, exercising, adopting a healthier diet, setting goals, engaging in productive actions, or anything that helps you achieve your purpose. Continuous self-reflection. Regularly take time to reflect on your progress. Observe how you are faring in pursuing your goals and make adjustments as needed. Learning from the story. Remember the story of the sage and the cat, which symbolizes the mind's trap. Remember that, like the sage, we can be lured by harmful habits when we allow our minds excessive freedom. Practicing moderation. Use the story as a reminder to maintain moderation in your life. Avoid being carried away by harmful desires that could lead to destruction. Remember that transformation takes time and effort. Be kind to yourself during the process and celebrate every step toward a healthier and more meaningful life. The story of the sage and the cat teaches us a timeless and precious lesson: the importance of vigilance over our actions and moderation in our lives. It reminds us that often harmful behaviors start seemingly innocuously, but can become destructive addictions if we allow them into our lives indiscriminately. It's clear: never underestimate the power of self-reflection and moderation. We must be mindful of our actions and the choices we make, aware of how they impact our lives and those around us. By setting a positive purpose, we can transform negative patterns into healthy behaviors. Thus, by applying the principles of self-control and self-awareness, we can prevent unwanted cats from entering our minds and lives and instead cultivate a more balanced and meaningful existence. This story inspires us to seek wisdom, moderation, and inner peace on our paths of self-discovery and growth. My name is Moro Diaz, and I am immensely grateful for sharing this teaching with you. Remember, you are a deserving being, worthy of all the wealth, love, health, success, and prosperity of this boundless universe. Always trust and express gratitude. You are very special to me. Thank you for existing. My eternal gratitude.